Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. Jonny and I are here. Hope you're all happy and healthy doing the things you love with those you love to do them with. Please, guys, do the honours. Get out straight out of the gates. We haven't got to ask you. Smash the like button. If you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. If you are watching this and you want to participate in the chat, all you've got to do is rub the sub and the chat will open up. Hit the notification bell and drop them comments. Let us know your thoughts on today's topics. This show is always available on podcasts as well, Apple and Spotify. Links in the description. Please get over there and give us a 5-star rating and a follow. And finally, this video is sponsored by okjersey.com. QR code in the top left, right above me here. Get over there for the best priced replica shirts in the game. £15 give or take, whatever you like, names and numbers, all that stuff. And with the checkout code FINC, F-I-N-C, you can get an extra 8% off. Can't ask better than that. Get yourself something nice for Christmas, for the kids, whatever else, for the girlfriend, for the mistress, whatever you're looking for. Football Inc. and OK Jersey are partners today. Jonny, how are you, my man?
I'm okay. I see the people threatening to march for Levy back in. Momentum's gathering. Good to see it. Look, the news. Listen, before the news, thanks to everyone in the chat. You know who you are. Your usual. Thanks for everyone for all your support. Couldn't do it without you. We enjoy your banter in the chat, so keep it coming. Look, the big story of the day, Ange not got a clue, is back. Back in the Premier League. The worst kept secret in football, probably. If you've been following this show for quite a long time, Sean and myself have been going on about the signings that Forest made, Marinakis and Edu made. Just didn't seem like Nuno signings. And, they obviously weren't they? They were obviously there for Ange Postecoglou. We got lots to talk about with Ange. Where should we start with Ange, Sean?
Well, let's start with Nuno, shall we, mate? Before we get to Ange, like, has he been? I don't know. Has he had the rug pulled on him a little bit? I think he did. He had a really great last year, didn't he? Like, I don't know what's happened there. Obviously, we know Marinakis and Ange are buddies, countrymen or whatever. It's one thing to fire a guy for poor performance and want to move in a different direction. But would Marinakis have sacked Nuno had they finished the season? Did he literally get sacked because he put them in a position that was well above expectations? And then because gravity took hold in the last few games where he couldn't hang on and, where the business end of the wedge or whatever you want to call it. And so he's fallen from lofty heights to a very respectable position anyway for a Nottingham Forest team that are not long back in the Premier League. I mean, it's a little. He's been sucker punched by his own outperformance, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, look, no one expected Forest to perform in the manner that they did, right? He blended that team in superbly. The defense was sensational. The counter-attacking football, fantastic. I enjoyed watching them. No one expected them to deliver what he was delivering, and made a lot of shots. I remember they beat Liverpool 1-0. Everyone thought the wheels had come off of Liverpool, but no one else was really managing to do it. And I think the catalyst for the fall, Sean, came when Marinakis, fearing that he was going to have a conflict of interest with Nottingham Forest and Olympiacos both being in the Champions League and him having to choose, decided to take himself off the owner's register. And he did so. He would have been fined anyway because he did it too late. But he took himself off the register to avoid the conflict. And it just so happened to coincide with Forest suddenly falling off a cliff with their form. And we saw that moment where he ran onto the pitch. People were going on about the substitution with the striker at the goalpost. I never believed a word of it. I believed that he was absolutely raging because, hang on a minute, I've taken myself off the company register and you, mug, have started losing games, and I'm not even going to get in the Champions League now. All of this I've done for you, and you've done this to me. I can't believe it. And he went in there and confronted him. The fact, when we saw in July when Marinakis presented Postecoglou with a special award, in Greece for the first Greek manager to win a European trophy, it seemed a very comfortable. Sorry, have I cut out there? It seemed a very comfortable, cozy, pally situation. And I thought to myself, these two are going to definitely hook up, brothers in arms. And so it's transpired to be. I definitely think the dirty's been done on Nuno. I think it's been done on him twice, to be truthful with you. At Spurs, he asked to get his assistant coach and he never got it. The only place he's ever been where he's not got it. And he went from manager of the month to, no clue Nuno within the next month, and he was out on his ear. And I think he was treated very badly then. But this beggars belief, I've got to be honest with you. I don't think it's anything to do with the 3-0 defeat against West Ham on the weekend.
No, the writing was on the wall though, when Nuno, a little bit too honest when he called out, when he said the relationship had broken down in a pre-match press conference. I think at that point we spoke about it, didn't we? We said, what's the odds on Nuno being the first manager sacked? And I think they were evens at the time, right? So, look, not pretty. But then Marinakis is a certain type of guy, isn't he? Certain type of businessman. I don't think he likes to lose. I don't think he likes to take accountability or responsibility. And to have got to where he's got to in his life, to have earned the wealth he's got, he's obviously got a lot of, like skeletons in the closet with regards to some of the allegations against him for a bunch of different things. But ultimately, if things don't end up where he wants them, then he's very quick to I don't know. Business is cutthroat, I guess, where he comes from. So it's an interesting one, mate. But look, out of the frying pan into the fire, and look, we did speak about this. You say, we said like all of the signings this summer pointed to a different style of play,
right?
And so Ange Postecoglou is going to be that guy. And listen, Ange Postecoglou got the first 10 games at Tottenham where he was very successful. But I think I used to say it. It wasn't who we are, mate, right? It was no one knows who we are, mate, for those first 10 games. Then it was who we are, mate, when we lost the next, 60% of the next 50 games. And then right at the end, it wasn't who we were, mate, at all. We changed everything we were to win a trophy. Nottingham Forest fans, should they be excited, Johnny, about this guy? I mean, they're not going to have the benefit of the unknown of Ange Postecoglou like we did in the first 10 games. So, unless he changes his style, if he goes back to doing it's who we are, mate, at Forest, it's not going to end well, is it?
No, I mean, I love that. I'm loving the this international break. Let me tell you something. International breaks are normally the most boring part for any football fan, no matter who you support. This international break's been absolutely fantastic. We've had all the Tottenham shenanigans. Now we got this. Forest fans in meltdown, sure. Absolute meltdown. Forest fans actually backing them to get relegated. I love the fact that he's only going to get a 2-year contract just to make sure, because he always wins in his second year. I mean, the guy's actually struck gold with that comment. I always win in my second season, because he's never going to get a 1-year contract. He's always going to get a 2-year contract. And even if he fucks up in the first year, he's going to say, well, I'll always do it in the second year. Interesting things to say. He says he never ever takes the same team of people with him when he goes to the new club. But apparently he's taking Miles Jednak, Sergio Raimondo, Nick Montgomery, and Spurs goalkeeping coach Rob Birch, who was with us for a long time. Is he going to suddenly change tactics? Has getting sacked and losing 34 league games in 18 months made him rethink? I mean, has he been reading some tactical books in his summer holidays?
He's obviously a student of the game, right? He was definitely, he came from, his father, I forget who his father's best mate was. What's the name of the guy who's got the trophy for the best goal that you score in the season? What's that trophy called?
Oh, it'll come to me in a minute.
Well, that guy, whoever it's named after, that guy was Postecoglou's father's best mate or whatever, or his mentor growing up. So, like, he's obviously a student of the game, but from watching him for 2 years,
the Puskás Award.
The Puskás, that was it. Yeah. Puskás, thanks guys. I cannot imagine Ange Postecoglou, ever going to a back three. I can't imagine, apart from if he's absolutely hanging on for dear life in a final or whatever, like we did in Europa. But I can't, like, the two systems that you saw from him were gung ho, no defense, easy to pick off. Template was learned very quickly, and if he does that, game over for Forest, in my opinion. Or the other tactic that we saw, it was just park the bus, right? Just park the bus and pick teams off if you possibly can. But that's what Nuno was doing, but far more skilled at doing it. And I can't see Ange Postecoglou. I can't believe for a second that he's not aware of the other tactical options, like a balanced style of play. But we haven't seen it. Haven't seen it anywhere. Didn't see it at Forest. Didn't see it at Tottenham. Didn't see it at Celtic. Didn't see it at Australia. Didn't see it in Japan. Like, so I can't imagine it. Like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, Johnny, is what they say, right? I can't imagine someone of his age is suddenly going to embark on a new tactical diversion towards some new vision of Ange ball. Like, it just doesn't stack up. So I think that this is a massive mistake from Marinakis, in my opinion.
Oh, well, listen, look, the styles are polar opposite. Just to look at some of the numbers here, the polarizing styles, right? Sprints. Nottingham Forest did 4,771 sprints, which put them bottom of the league. Spurs had 6,300, put them second. Kilometres covered, Nottingham Forest were 20th, 3,954 kilometres as opposed to 4,237 second from Spurs. Possession percentage, Spurs had 54%, which put them fifth. Forest had only 40% possession due to being a counter-attacking team. That put them 18th. Build-up attacks, 50, and put them 19th. Spurs had 106, put them 5th. And, when you look at those, and per defensive action as well, 15 for Forest and 10 for Spurs, which put them second. Look, the stats show that it's a completely different style of play. But I'm not being funny. Forest were a very nicely balanced football team. Can you see Murillo and co suddenly playing a high line? Milenkovic and Murillo are certainly going to be, well, mate, I don't really care about defence.
Milenkovic will go from baller to faller very, very quickly as a high-line defender. He's brilliant at doing certain things, very brilliantly talented player.
They've been outstanding.
If he's asked to do sprints and to cover, right backs and left backs that are caught out of position, I mean, to me, mate, you would hope that Ange Postecoglou sees what he's inherited and thinks, surely I can't do that. And I'm saying that from I don't want him to be a failure, and I don't care about Forest, obviously, but I just don't want to see it all implode, because I do quite appreciate what Nottingham Forest have done for their as a trajectory for their football club. It's been very impressive for the last 3-4 years, and so to see it all go to tosh because Marinakis has had a meltdown and decided to sack the best thing that could have happened to that football club, which was Nuno in a long time. Nuno was brilliant at taking what he had and making it work, getting the best out of the players that he had, right? The way that he used Gibbs White, the way that he used Elanga, the way that he used, their entire setup, their entire system. If the squad that he inherited had been different, Nuno would have used it in a different way. But the squad that he used, the squad that he had, the squad that he got, he put it to work in the right way, and they were brilliant. Brilliant. The scalps that they took last season were sensational. To see all of that potentially go to implode now, similar vibes with regards like a Brentford, mate. I don't really want, not to get off the topic, but I don't really want to see Brentford collapse either, because they put together such a wonderful last 7 years of progress and stability and all these things. And then just, for different reasons. But if Nottingham Forest are going to be the victim of just a moment of madness from Marinakis, I mean, first and foremost, do you see Marinakis and Ange Postecoglou not having an absolute, like a Greek wedding fights and like
my fat Greek wedding? I mean, listen, look, they'd make a great wrestling match, wouldn't it? Eh?
He's called Little Ange now, mate. He's not Big Ange anymore. He's Little Ange.
Yeah, Little Ange. Listen, I think Morgan Gibbs-White will be perfect for Ange, if I'm brutally honest. I think because he's got a fantastic engine, box to box. I think he'll be perfect for Ange. But is Ange going to turn around and spin the yarn? I don't think so. That he spun at Spurs, where you can only go for one trophy. You can't possibly go for the Europa League and do well in the Premier League. Is he gonna use that line? I bet you he doesn't. I bet you he doesn't say in January, well, I had to give it up, mate, because we could only concentrate on one trophy.
And, he'll say that after the fact. He'll say that after that. In the meantime, we're talking out of both sides of his mouth the entire thing, and hopefully no one will forget or no one will remember all of the doublespeak that he goes through. Forest fans are smart, mate. They pay attention to what their managers and what their people say, and they'll call him out quick. They'll call him out quick because you know what he's like, mate. We've experienced it, right?
Listen, look,
everything to get away with the situation at the time.
Look, guys, I see all the comments about it was only the injuries, right? Shit's Greek. Very funny, Daniel. Very funny. I don't subscribe to it's just down to injuries. I'm sorry. Wait till... I had that after the first 10 games and we had the injuries. Wait till we get our players back. I was a subscriber to that theory. And then we got the players back and it didn't improve. No, Tony, there's not haters, mate. We're talking facts, mate. You can't lose 22 games in a Premier League. The first time that any team has lost 22 games in the Premier League and stayed up, our worst performance ever. We finished, one place above relegation. And if it hadn't have been for a terrible miss by Tamworth striker in the 96th minute, he would have been the manager of the team getting beaten by a non-league team. The worst defeat since about 1882. So, look, he did positive things, but I'm not going to sit here. That was the worst final in European history. I loved every minute of it because I was there. So was Shawnee. But let's not kid ourselves, right? Those players, self-motivated in Frankfurt, suddenly they turned it on, defended within an inch of their lives at Frankfurt away. Same at Bodo and the same of that day. Those last, 30 minutes in Bilbao where they put their bodies on the line. That was something we hadn't seen in any league game for months on end. But, he won the trophy and fair dues and fair credit to him. So do you think he's going to focus on the Europa League, Sean, for another trophy and give up the Premier League? What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I don't know what the expectations are though of Marinakis. Like I don't follow Forest closely enough to all the fan base. Are the fan base generally, what were they expecting last season? Has that sort of factory reset of expectations, made them believe that European football now is the expectation every year? If they want to fight on all four fronts, if they want to participate in the two domestics and Europa League and do well, and they want to finish in the top 7, never going to happen, in my opinion. Never, ever, ever going to happen. So it depends what Ange, Ange usually says the first season is my building block season, buys himself some time, 101st stone cutter analogy thing, all that nonsense that he talks about, that buys himself an indefinite stay of reprieve. And then, season 2, he'll have a crack. But I think this season, maybe the easier thing for him to do would be to try to finish in the Conference League spot this season, and then go for the Conference League. I don't think Forest are good enough to win the Europa League with Ange Postecoglou. I think that
they've got a good squad.
Tottenham's best players stood up and were counted for in the final few games of that. I'm not sure if Forest's squad is, especially with the inevitable. No, I like them too, but with the inevitable injuries that they're going to have if they play the Ange Ball system, I don't think the Forest squad is going to be able to sustain the Europa League. So I would say this season, just focus on your league, do whatever you got to do, build the building blocks in place and that stuff, and then go for it in your second season. Because what happens if he wins in his first season, mate? Then it's like I always win in either my first or my second season. Then he's just going to be unbearable. That geezer's going to be unbearable with his waffle. Absolutely unbearable.
I mean, all the Spurs fans that are still reminiscing about Ange, let me tell you something. You should have joined me in the 1,500 to 3,000 fans that drove for hours on end to get to your Liverpools and all the other grounds that we went to and watched them lose 22 times. See how behind Ange you would have been for those games, yeah? And that's why, some of us have, sort of this... more realistic feelings about Ange Postecoglou. I celebrate the victory, will not forget the victory and what a magic moment it was. But I don't believe, it was all down to him.
Are there any Forest fans in the house? If there's any Forest fans here, let us know if you're happy with the appointment or if you're concerned. Let us know your thoughts if you are here.
They're in meltdown, Sean. I'm looking at say it's not so.
Really?
Get your money on relegation. Why him? Why not Glasner? Why not Iriola? They were excited about those appointments. They certainly were not excited about
Forest fans don't half think themselves like most of them that I see on YouTube and that are like in their 20s or early 30s, and yet they still think of themselves as like European champion sort of pedigree, because they won 2 trophies two European Cups before they were born. Like Glasner's not leaving Palace to join Forest. Like it's a split decision for me which team of that. There's no difference in my opinion in the pecking order between Palace and Forest. Maybe Glasner leaves Palace because he's unhappy with what happened with the transfer window. But when Glasner leaves Palace, he's going to be able to go and get a job at a Big Six club, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I really like Forest's squad. I think Forest and Everton both did some really good business. But I'll have to see. I still have this sneaking suspicion that Ange knew all along that these conversations have been going on a long time, and he would have had conversations with Edu and Marinakis via Marinakis about the type of players. Because these are all attacking players. We've got wingers. We've got mobile players who run. And that's what he likes.
Let's have a look at their squad.
So I think I'm actually gutted. I've got to be honest with you, Sean. My missus has booked me to go away with my kids.
Going away again, John? Gee whiz.
Yeah, afraid so, mate. December the 13th. Yeah.
What are we doing? So you're Nottingham Forest. Look at their squad. So they've got Murillo centre back. He's handy. He'll be able to handle whatever. Giswhite's fine. Dan and Doy's fine for an Ange system. Milenkovic, I don't think is going to handle it if he plays the high line. Elliot Anderson,
Douglas Luiz, mate. Finally got a 6.
He'll play in the 6 because he doesn't play in the 6. He'll play the deeper line of the 2. That's actually a smart signing for Ange Ball, if you're entirely honest. Sangare's days will be numbered. Callum Hudson-Odoi will be fine. Oleana, I mean, he's going to get caught out defensively. He's not technically gifted enough defensively anyway.
He's going to be inverted. He'll probably enjoy being inverted, to be honest with you. But you've got Igor Jesus up front. What about
Zinchenko? Was a smart one. If they're going to invert, Zinchenko plays invert he's played to the 6 at Arsenal, isn't he? So
correct.
That's a smart signing for an inverted full. I mean, look, you can see it now, can't you? Look through it. All of the signings have been made for an Ange Ball system.
Correct.
I wonder how. Do you reckon the decision was made when they met up in Greece and they gave them the freedom of the city? I think the decision was made then.
Yeah. I said to you, we said it at the time. It looked all too cozy and friendly and happy. And I'm thinking to myself, look, this is a marriage made in hell, or is it made in heaven? Time will tell.
So I don't know too much about this Jai Cunha from Botafogo.
Yeah, he's a centre back. He's a good centre back, and Igor Jesus. Jesus.
Sorry,
I said Igor Jesus is a real talent.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the specifics for Ange ball. Is Jai Cunha fast? Is he mobile? I don't know. That's the thing I'm not sure about. He might be talented.
Well, he is. I only saw him in a couple of games in the World Club Cup, but I'm sure there was a special deal done there. But look, I'll be interested to see. Are they going to do a joint news conference where Marinakis stands on the sidelines and he goes, "I love Marinakis. He's my favourite man."
Mr. Marinakis. Yes, Mr. Marinakis. Thank you, Mr. Marinakis. Thank you very much for the... Oh, mate, no, listen. Looking at the floor. Mr. Marinakis, he I like what he's about, and this club means a lot to me. And, we're always going to win in the second season, mate. So shut up, Ange. Shut up, mate. It's a litmus test for you now, buddy. It's a litmus test now to see how he gets on. Because I think he was...
I'm wondering whether or not his first game is against Arsenal on the weekend. That should be an interesting one. Will he go? Yeah. I wonder if he'll go.
Absolutely spanked, mate.
Where will he go? Will he go 8-2-1?
Where he's going to go?
Where will he go? 8-2-1 formation.
You don't go to Arsenal. I mean, he tried 3 times and got spanked every. Was it 2 times or 3 times he went to the Emirates?
Yeah, I'm missing the 13th of December. I'm gutted now. Gutted.
What's that?
I'm missing the 13th of December at the Forest ground. Spurs Forest. Yeah, Spurs Forest. I'm only there for a few days, but so look, it's a good one. What about some of the other news, Sean? Dele Alli. There's rumours of him going to Wrexham. Do you think that's just good TV, good Disney box office, or do you think that really is the chance for him to rehabilitate himself? I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if he actually could turn it on? There's also interest apparently from Birmingham and West Brom. We know that Davis has a connection, and of course Ryan Mason at West Brom. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think Dele Alli's cooked, mate. I don't think he'll make it. I think he might as well just retire. I just think he listen, all of the things that he said happened to him as a child and stuff. Feel for the guy massively, obviously terrible stuff, but it hadn't affected him from the age of 16 to the age of 23. He's one of the best players in the world, and it was used as the reason to explain his fall off. Personally, I think his fall off. I'm sure the other things that were the catalyst for his fall off, like putting his feet up, getting distracted, being playing computer game, whatever it was that where his just concentration of the game or his love for the game fell off. I'm sure they were shaped and carved by what happened to him when he was a kid. But I think that he just too much too soon, and I think he just lost interest. And I don't think you can, if you're the sort of person that doesn't appreciate what you have when you have it, and someone's so lucky, I don't think you're going to resurrect it. I'd love to see him resurrect, but there's this weird,
yeah,
huh?
I think we all would. I think, most football fans, even if you're not a Spurs fan, it's just staggering how someone so talented with the world at his feet could just fall off the edge of the world, really, and be where he is. But I don't know whether it's discipline or what it is, but I'd love to see it. But yeah, in a hype said in the comments there, the problem is his attitude. It could well be, seeing him on these fashion shoots and doing all the outside distractions. He hasn't learned his lesson about, focus on football, and football will give you the rest. But it's a shame. It's a shame for that. Just a bit of Spurs news, Sean. Apparently Tottenham made a late move to sign Paris Saint-Germain's Seni Mayulu, 19-year-old, before the transfer window shut, with Chelsea and Manchester City also keen on the French midfielder. I'm not sure if I know too much about Seni Mayulu. Do you?
Not a huge amount. I know that he's a midfielder, sort of central midfielder, attacking midfielder mainly. Got really good potential, but I don't think he's ever played I think he's come through the Paris Saint-Germain youth team. I don't really remember him. He's
No,
played a couple of games for France under 20s, but he's not made it for the first team yet. So I don't really know too much about him, to be honest. I think
he's for the kindergarten.
What's that?
Another one for the kindergarten.
Yeah, I mean, what's he valued at? 15 million euros. Apparently, he's both-footed, two-footed player. Always rare, always nice to see. But yeah, I don't know too much about him, mate. But listen, if that's the sort of signing we're getting in January, mate,
this Champions League final. There's a Coulson saying he scored in the Champions League final. I don't remember Maylou scoring in the final, but if he said he did. Tottenham are also continue to keep tabs on one area of the pitch, their squad where we're really lacking. Continue to keep tabs on Sunderland's defender Dennis Kirkin, and they might move to re-sign the 23-year-old left-back, who is a product of the Spurs Academy, in January. That's quite an interesting one. What do you think about that one? We've been rumoured. Yeah, we've been rumoured to be bringing him back for quite a long time. He's been a few years now.
He's a good player, mate. When I've seen him, he's very, very attractive to look on the ball. When he's sprinting forward, he gallops forward. Very impressive the way he can carry the ball. He reminds me a bit like a Mickey van der Ven, the way he sort of gobbles up the ground with the ball at his feet as a fullback. But to be honest, again, I don't think that this whole homegrown thing. It seems like it's a problem that you've made for yourself because you've let go of all of your young players, and you're going to go and spend a lot of money to bring him back purely because he's homegrown and club trained to get into to play in the Champions League. If he's ending up playing in the Champions League, we've got bigger problems than to worry about 20 million quid to spend on him. And again, mate, like I say, this whole notion of what's changing at Tottenham right now, if we end up signing players like that in January, then the fan base has sort of given the Lewis children a bit of a reprieve here. They've given them a little bit of room to work with. They better make the most of it. Otherwise, I think there's going to be another meltdown around the corner, personally, because I don't buy the bollocks that's being put in front of us.
No, I don't think many of us has. Here's a funny story, right? Jacob Kiwior has said that he found out about his transfer to Porto from Arsenal teammates in a training session when the player showed him a "Here we go" post by Fabrizio Romano.
Really? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
wait, he had no idea he was supposed to be going.
He didn't know that. He didn't know the deal was done, right? Because he was in negotiation with various clubs.
Right.
It's quite, which is quite funny.
That's sensational stuff, yeah. Other story, Liverpool are not going to submit a fresh cash offer for Mark Guéhi in January. They intend to sign him on a free transfer next summer. The personal terms and all that stuff has all been agreed. They've been given permission to meet the player, conduct the medical and all that stuff. They see Mark Guéhi as the long-term future. Mate, Liverpool seem to luck out so much, don't they? We're like, if it's a player like that comes available on a free transfer, sort of top-tier player available on a free, that sort of thing is never going to end up anywhere other than one of those teams that have the draw. And it's not even they just go, do you want to come? Yeah, cool, done, no problem. Like Tottenham could never have that. Forest could never have that. There's never going to be that situation where one of those sorts of players is going to go for free to a team like them, is it? It's always going to go to one of the top 2 or 3 teams.
Do you think Liverpool, though, should be looking over their shoulder? Because, let's be honest, a player like that on a free transfer is going to appeal to Real Madrid and also to Barcelona. Yeah. Or Liverpool have absolutely nothing to worry about. I would say, personally, that the world is going to be Guéhi's oyster. And I'll say another thing. I think, can Liverpool afford to wait to the summer and not pay a fee and getting him in January? Can they really afford that? Because I don't think they got enough. I've said it numerous times till I'm blue in the face. I don't think they got enough centre-back cover for it. We understand why they pulled the rug. Apparently, Palace tried to sign Joe Gomez to go the other way, but that didn't go. And to couple with that, Crystal Palace are prepared to do everything in their power to hold on to Oliver Glasner. Do they have any hope, Sean? Or do you think this is an accident waiting to happen and he's ready to jump ship at any big club, say a Manchester United position coming available, for example?
I think Glasner will leave at the end of the season. But I tell you what, I'd love to know what the relation, how Mark Guéhi feels about Glasner right now, because it wasn't like Glasner, or at least the way the story was told, it wasn't like Glasner went and spoke to Guéhi and said, "Please don't leave. We'll both leave together in the summer. I need you this year." The way it was represented was that Glasner went to Parish and said, "If you sell Guéhi, I quit." So Guéhi's missed out on his dream move because of the threat from his boss to the boss's boss. And so I wonder if Guéhi, who did everything by the book, we spoke about this at the end of the window, the players that ended up acting like jerks, selfish gits, they got their moves. The players that were respectful didn't. And I just wonder whether Guéhi has resentment towards Glasner on that regard. But either way, neither of those two people are going to be at Crystal Palace in 12 months, in my opinion.
No, I don't think either of them will be. But I do feel for Mark Guéhi, because to be punished for acting like a gentleman in a time where we had Gyökeres, we had Isak, and we had Vissa all behaving like arseholes. I do feel for him, but he's not the only one. Apparently, AC Milan.
Oh, is he gone? Is he coming back? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do the super stickers whilst he's in frozen mode. Nice little pause face there. Appreciate you very much, Deanie Law with the super train mentor. Huge, Deanie, always here, my man. Always supporting the show. Wherever we go, you're there, buddy. Appreciate you very much, my man. Thank you very much. Choo to you. Choo as well to Dan from the Bears Cave. Big up to you, Dan. I hope you're okay, my man. Thank you very much indeed. Johnny's back. You cut out there, Johnny. So I thought I'd pop over to do some super stickers. Fifth Elemento is also here. Big up to you, says Gibbs, punching the air right now. He's happy boy, Gibbs White. Is he, you reckon? I don't know, mate. I think Gibbs White loved working for Nuno. I think all of the players loved working for Nuno. I don't know whether or not Gibbs White was a great beneficiary of that model. He was allowed to play freely within it. And I think he's an absolute superstar. Sorry, Johnny, you're just doing the super stickers, mate. Your internet's been cutting in and out violently.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Daniel Phil, big up to you. Daniel says, super sticker, choo to you, Daniel. Appreciate you very much indeed, guys. Thank you very much. I haven't asked very much, guys. If you don't mind, there's 750 people here. Smash that like button for us if you enjoy the content. Today it's a non-top.
And the subscribe button.
And the subscribe
button. 100%. Going about contracts and stuff like this, here's the opposite, right? Dick Origi has declined AC Milan's proposal to terminate his contract by mutual consent. We'd like you to go. I'm sure you'd agree, wouldn't you? You would like to terminate your contract. No, actually, I wouldn't. I've signed a long contract and you're going to pay me. The fact that you don't want to play me is nothing to do with me. You signed the contract. This is the other flip of the coin. Our players now got more power than the clubs, or is it still hanging in the balance? What are your thoughts, guys?
No, 100%. The powers with the players, 100% it is. You look at what
unless you're at Forest.
Look at Isak, for example. Right, so he signs a 5-year deal or a 5-year contract. I'm sure that he was paid more in incentives, in bonuses, and all these things in order to get the additional year of security for the club. They'll reward you for that longer term contract by paying you a little bit more, by paying you more incentives and your bonuses and all those appearance fees and all that stuff. So you do all that, sign the contract, and then 2 years in, not even halfway through the contract, you turn around and go, yeah, I'm done now. I'm not playing for you anymore. Sell me right now, please. Like the disrespect. And what choice do the club have? The club can't really... I mean, they can let the player rot, but what does that do for disharmony? What does that do for your own ambitions? What does that do for your own finances? The power is entirely in the players' hands. And so, look, at the same time, as much as I think it's shameless and I think it's mercenary, at the same time, Johnny, these guys have only got a 12, 13-year career, and loyalty is something that's for the birds in that situation for most. And you're not rewarded for your loyalty because the clubs will get rid of. If you're loyal to them and the clubs suddenly change their mind, don't want you anymore, they'll get rid of you in a heartbeat, just like you would get rid of them. So
So that's why I say Divock Origi, he's quite within his rights to say, screw you. You want to get rid of me? You sign me on a contract. Hey, I ain't going. I'm 100%. Not leaving. I'm not leaving. One player who is going to be leaving is Nico Paz next summer. He's going to go back to Real Madrid. I don't think there's any surprise there. Top player. One player who Juventus tried to get rid of desperately and couldn't get rid of is Dusan Vlahovic. He's still at Juventus, which one of the reasons why they couldn't sign Kolo Muani. But Jonathan David has come out and said, I think we could play together. Is that a PR exercise, or do you think that...
Who said he's going to play together?
Jonathan David said, I think we can play together. Maybe teeing up some balls in the air for Vlahovic. He can rekindle his career. How
do they both work together?
Well,
in a back three with a two, like a 3-4 or 3.
I don't know, but I suppose getting those balls into the box for Vlahovic with Jonathan David's pace.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to see him.
Large flick-ons, that sort of thing, the old Emil Heskey, Michael Owen thing. I don't know. I don't really see it, mate. I think that Vlahovic is getting out there pretty soon. But I'm very surprised he didn't go, to be honest, man. I'm very surprised they never found a home for him. It looked like they were gonna, at one point in the summer, they were considering chopping up his entire contract when they're tearing it up, paying him off, getting him off the wage bill and getting him out of the club. Didn't happen though. Interesting.
One deal that's really been up in the air, swinging left and right, and it's of Liverpool's making, is Ibrahima Konaté. He made a comment that Kylian Mbappe is ringing him every 2 hours to get him to come to Real Madrid. And Liverpool are trying their best to get him to sign a new contract. But according to Jose Felix Diaz, the move to Madrid next summer is now very advanced. Do you think he'll sign a pre-contract in January, or do you reckon he'll wait until the summer and move on a free?
If you look at the way that the Liverpool fans sort of turned on Trent, slightly different sort of story relationship. But I think Liverpool fans, I think you might learn that you can say in principle I'll sign, but I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest. Won't announce it. Johnny, wouldn't it be funny though? Wouldn't it be interesting karma? The way Liverpool said to Newcastle United, you can have Ekitike or you can have Isak, but you can't have both. And they said, well, you're not having Isak, and so they took Ekitike and ended up getting Isak anyway. And Newcastle ended up with 2 other players. They little broed Newcastle a little bit. Wouldn't it be interesting if Real Madrid little bro Liverpool and took Konaté and Guéhi, 2 free transfer centre backs for the summer and rebuild their entire squad
with Trent.
Yeah,
Trent,
and Liverpool fans have to taste that pecking order politics that we've all had to suffer for so long in our lives. I'll
tell you where we need to get. We need to get on the plane, but not to the expensive place.
Because it's still the window's still not shut over there, is it?
Oh. This is the turkey segment. The turkey segment of the show.
Liverpool is saying they won't encourage interest from Chiesa from Turkish club Besiktas, despite leaving the 27-year-old forward out of the Champions League squad and saying he might struggle for game time. Is that what was that? Is that some sort of double bluff? I'm not sure. But the deal of the day has to be the deal to Trabzonspor, where Andre Onana, who refused to leave, was hoping to get a new contract from Manchester United, right? Refusing to go, he has now managed to secure himself a double your wages deal to Trabzonspor.
What?
He's doubled his wages on the move.
Really? How much?
Doubled his wages. Yep.
No way.
He's decided to sign for Man United. Yep, he's doubled his wages. That was part of the deal to go there because he said he didn't want to go. He was playing hardball with both sides. They'll pay his wages and they'll pay the extra on top. I suppose
he's been handed a considerable signing on bonus on a loan deal. The fuck is that? I've never seen that
on before. A loan deal. And of course, because of the tax situation, I don't know whether that's the double your wage because of the...
that is insanity, mate. That is insanity.
So he's been rewarded with being one of the worst goalkeepers in the Premier League with a double your money deal on loan, and he'll probably do another one in the next window. Well, sort of next summer.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll tell you who else is getting a deal. I mean, all those rumours that he was for sale. Bradley Barcola is set to engage in talks regarding a new contract extension in the coming days, likely to sign to 2030. That would be a bumper contract. I mean, what a player he is.
Yeah. Bradley Barcola. I mean, well, listen, mate, I would absolutely have adored it because we were linked with him for about 5 seconds before it was flatly rejected.
It's fantasy.
Yeah, he's absolutely insane. Mate, did you see this? And listen, it's Turkish media. Well, we're still in Turkey.
Yeah.
It's Turkish media that are reporting this, that Zinedine Zidane has apparently become Fenerbahçe's new head coach. I don't think it's been official yet, but apparently all the reports are saying Zinedine Zidane is going to be Fenerbahçe's new head coach.
Wow. Can you imagine what they've offered him? I mean, he's turned down all the big clubs in Europe to go to Fenerbahçe.
What are we doing here? What is going on, mate, in Turkish football? I mean, sorry, it's time for another. It's got to be. I don't know which one to go with. Is it this one?
It's all about the PSR. It's all about the FFP. It's all about the loopholes. It's all about the money.
Yeah. Look, Sean and I are of the opinion that a lot of Saudi oil money has found its way into Turkey through investment vehicles because all of a sudden they've been buying up. I mean, the deal that Victor Osimhen was given was just insane. You know, the sort of deal that you'd get in Saudi Arabia. And if you look at the signings that they've been making, absolutely crazy signings. And the fact that they get this ridiculous rule because they say they're based in Asia when they're not based in Asia, and they get an extra week in the window. Yeah. I think it closes this weekend. I think it is this weekend. Yeah, I can't remember. Is it 30? I can't remember the exact date that the window closes. Only the Saudi window is longer. But what they do is they hoover up all the players that haven't been sold by clubs or players that clubs were desperate to get rid of. And they drive a hard bargain and pick them up for fantastic deals. No one else has afforded this.
It closes on the 12th.
The 12th.
Can we just super quick here, right? Like, Fenerbahçe, their revenues are the same as Leicester City's.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on, Johnny? Like, how? It just doesn't, like, it's so obviously not legit, but no one's talking about it. No one's talking about it apart from me and you. Turkish football is the new vehicle. It's the new maneuver to get players out. It's money laundering. It's something weird and random and wild is going on with regards to Turkish.
John Duran went for 72 million to Saudi Arabia in January, and now he's in Turkey. I mean, how's that? How's that? On loan. No problem. There you go. No worry about this.
Something is very, very up, and somebody somewhere needs to be who's smarter than me, smarter than you, Johnny, and got more time on their hands. Need to figure it out. Otherwise, we're going to be left to create conspiracy theories. And you know me, mate. I'm a tinfoil hat specialist. I like conspiracy, but it needs to be investigated because Turkish football stinks right now. Absolutely stinks.
Where's Tammy Abraham gone? Tammy Abraham. Which club did Tammy Abraham go to? I can't remember. Tammy went to, was it Galatasaray? No. Was that
Besiktas?
Yeah. I mean, just look at the signings they've been making, and no doubt we'll see some others. One player we expected to move, and I definitely reckon he'll move maybe in January or definitely next summer, Sean, is Malik Fofana. You and I both expected him to go to, one of the big clubs. Apparently, Chelsea and Liverpool heavily monitoring him at the moment. So we'll have to keep an eye on him.
Looking at him as well, apparently.
Yep.
I'd take him. He's an absolute baller.
Tell me another one. Do you reckon Strand Larsen, another one, do you think Strand Larsen, having been denied his dream move to Newcastle, will be in any shape, way, or form interested in Wolves pushing him to sign a new contract? I can't see it.
Who's on that?
Strand Larsen.
Strand Larsen. I think he's better than Wolves, mate. I think he can go to. I think he could be at a decent club. I think he could easily get to. I mean, I think he would fit into many teams around Europe. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know what sort of standard is he. Would you take Strand Larsen at Tottenham? I don't think he's a top 4 club yet. I don't think he's a top 6 club, but I could see him. He's maybe he's at the right standard. I don't know, but I think he's a really good player, mate. And so when's he out of contract? Are you saying he's out of contract in?
Well, he's not out of contract. They want to sign him down to want a time to a bigger contract, obviously because of what's going on with all the links. Sean, we're gonna have to get on the plane again, mate, to go to the expensive place.
Okay.
We're off to Saudi Arabia for the next part of the show.
So Al Halil and Al Nassr are weighing up a deal to sign Manchester United centre-back Harry Maguire. They're looking to spend 15 to 20 million euros on him. 15 to 20 million euros.
I thought you were going to drop some ridiculous number, and I was like, "Oh, do me a favour."
No,
15 to 20. Mate.
Well, 15 to 20 million euros. I mean, look, if you were Harry Maguire, seeing the shit pit that's at Man United right now, would you not jump ship and say,
32 years old, go and get paid a few $100,000 a week? Go and do it for a year or whatever. Last port of call in your career. Look, the way he's been treated by Manchester United, he's a real enigma, Harry Maguire, because I think most of the time he's the scapegoat. Most of the time people bully him and call him all the shit that he took for 2-3 years in the media and United fans were just so unforgiving. And yet, fair play to Slabhead, right? Like he gets up and he carries on with it, and he banged in some absolutely vital goals for Manchester United over the last couple of years. So, he's got a strong chin and a bigger forehead.
I'll ask you a question: is he Manchester United's best striker currently? Because I think he is.
He's definitely their sort of pivotal moment player for sure.
And the story that just won't go away: Manchester United, TalkSport are saying that Bruno Fernandes remains open to a move to Saudi Arabia. I mean, I'm not sure.
How many more clubs is he going to be linked with? He's already been linked to 4 of them.
Well, he's been linked to quite a few of them.
Al Hilal, he turned down Al Hilal. Then he was offered Al Nassr to go back with his mate Ronaldo. Turned that one down. Then it was Al Ittihad. I'm not sure whichever one. Maybe it was Neom. I think Neom was the 4th one as well. So he's already been he's been offered to 4 and turned them all down. 5th time's a charm, Johnny. 5th time's a charm.
I just wonder whether he sees Manchester United as a sinking ship with a big hole in it. Forget the roof of the stadium.
Yeah.
With Amorim at the helm, and he doesn't see great times ahead. Cunha, they've been delivered that terrible blow that Cunha's out probably till Christmas, 8 to 12 weeks with that hamstring injury, which is a big blow for them.
Not his first hamstring, is it either, mate? That guy's had a hammy before, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's got a hammy. But I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped ship. Maybe not now. Maybe January. That he'll jump, but I reckon he's definitely going to go to Saudi. It's just a matter of when.
Do you think Amorim? I suppose one of the things, right? It was only a few months ago. It felt like the proximity to World War III, what was going on, all the different things in that part of the world. That seems like it's calmed down a little bit. At least you don't hear so much about it in the news right now with Iran and everything else. So maybe if all that stuff's a little bit calmer, maybe there's a bit of a better ecosystem environment to go over there. I don't know if that was a factor of why he turned it down in the first place. But, Johnny, let me ask you this, mate. Is Amorim going to be... A, will he make it to the end of the season?
No.
And B, if not, is he the next manager to be sacked? Or is there 1 or 2 others ahead of him in the queue?
I think Harry Potter could possibly be the next one. I don't know if he can keep casting spells and producing magic. Meanwhile, they're playing Spurs at the weekend, so I should probably be eating humble pie Sunday evening or Saturday evening. for that one. Juventus, Saudi Pro League outfit, have approached Juventus midfielder Kephren Thuram. Do I know Kephren Thuram?
Kephren Thuram.
Thuram, yeah.
Kephren
I was
Thuram,
thinking
a baller, absolute baller.
I mean, another one going to it doesn't name the league. It says a top player, a top squad. Doesn't say which one, but I think
Kephren Thuram is an absolute monster. I would love him at Tottenham. I'd love him at Tottenham. I think he would absolutely suit the Premier League as well. He's punchy.
I would know him as Thuram, right, rather than his first name. But is he really at this stage? I mean, are Saudi now struggling to get players? Where normally they just drop the number and off they'd go. But it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment, where they're just dropping everything and leaving. So we shall see.
All the money's in fucking Turkey, mate, at the moment. That's why all the money's being sidelined. They'll bring it all up. Just quickly, mate, there's a bit of breaking news in the last 2 hours with our club, Tottenham. Before I come to that, I just want to quickly just get to the last couple of super stickers. Big up to you, Daniel Field. Thank you so much, mate. Cheers.
Function.
Thank you very much indeed. And Ulrika Johnson, it's night time. She's in the bath having a G&T. Get your bits dry. Stick on the point. Good to see you. Mate, breaking news out of Tottenham Hotspur. We are delighted to announce the appointment of Adam Gardner as the club's new Chief Marketing Officer. Adam makes the move across North London from Arsenal, where he has spent 5 years as Marketing Director. Prior to Arsenal, Adam has held leadership roles at Nike over 12 years.
There you go.
Hey, mate.
That's a Vinny signing, mate.
That is a Vinny signing.
And there's the kit deal.
I'm delighted that Adam will be joining us as CMO. This role is critical to our plans to strengthen our connection with our supporters, and we look forward to Adam joining the executive team in due course. Right. Another guy that will be on the board, another sympathetic vote. Certain ways, mate.
Listen, all I'm saying is that shirt deal was the worst shirt deal ever signed by anyone. To 2030, £30 million a year to 2030. Liverpool signed a £60 million deal now and a bigger cut. Most clubs are signing bigger deals. By the time the end of 2030 comes around, it's going to look like it's already a terrible deal. I reckon with the shirt deals, and look at the kits that Arsenal produce with Adidas. Some great kits, fashion kits. Spurs are trying to move into that area because it's a massive, massive, massive market, as we saw from PSG. So, that's it's another one. Arsenal fans will no doubt come on and say he didn't do anything, but Agent Vinay is well underway. I like Vinay. I'm a big fan. I expect.
I'm not that impressed with him so far, mate. I've got to be honest. I feel like the videos that he's putting out are all a little bit too polished, too commercial, too corporate. It's not. They feel a little bit all forced and fake, to be honest, mate. I'm very open-minded. I'm not making my mind up on anything. I'm just saying that my early impressions are not the best, if I'm entirely honest, mate. Not the best. But we shall see.
Sean's gone from Levy in to Vinay out. My chairman. Yeah. An interesting story. Arsenal's Victor Gyökeres, it says, according to the Daily Mirror, could miss game time for Arsenal next year after being called in to testify in a legal case in Sweden that could rumble on for a few weeks. I don't know what
that's about. Does it give any details?
No details. But the
court cases that rumble on for weeks are usually fraud-based. That's sort of corporate fraud stuff. But
it's a legal case. That's all I've got in Sweden. So I'm not quite sure what that is. One player, while we're on Arsenal, one player that most Arsenal fans thought would be on his way, potentially to Saudi Arabia, was Gabriel Martinelli. He faces an uncertain future. I can't see him getting much game time at all for Arsenal, unless there's a big injury crisis. He's probably about third choice now with the amount of signings they made. Interest from AC Milan. But again, no one's going to pay that money. It's only going to be a loan, which is the way we think that most transfers are going to go. We think there's going to be a lot more loans, don't we, Sean?
Yeah. I just think loans are the way forward. I think everybody wants to be able to get what they need now, but figure out the details later on. And I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense for all teams to be encouraging loans. Like I say, financially, you can kick the can, gives you a bit of time to work out what you got to do over the next 12 months. And if everybody's doing it, then everybody's just front loading and front running, and it just allows people to be more creative with their structure of payments. Plus, from a footballing perspective, if they're all options, not obligations, but if they're options that have that at least guarantee you first right of refusal, then you also get to try before you buy. So if you thought a player would come in and fit the system, fit the pace of the league or whatever, and you weren't sure, loans are obviously the best way to go about it.
One player I thought would be on his way, but wasn't, mind you, with their chairman at the helm. It's hard to get anyone out of the club. Jean-Philippe Mateta. Apparently, lots of interest from Leeds, Villa, and Newcastle in the player. And there's a lot of rumours that they're going to try and get him out in January. I can't see him getting out. I can't see.
He's such a physical specimen, mate. Like when I watched him the other day, I'd sort of always never paid attention to like just his size before. He's such a big guy.
Isn't it a barn door show?
He's strong, he's fast, he's physical, but now he's got his confidence in his finishing as well. Like all of those things are coming together. It's just a case of whether he can stay consistent. But in terms of imagine having to face him as a defender. He's bigger than you. He's stronger than you. He can turn on a sixpence, and he's got the ability to finish, and his confidence is there for his conversions. But just as a tussle, as like a an ordeal to have to face him, mark him out of the game. It's not going to be a nice day at the office to take on Mateta. It's a big fella.
It's amazing, like a player that couldn't hit a barn door. He was absolutely shocking. He looked like Bambi on ice when he came in, or should I say a giant Bambi on ice. And it just shows you what a top coach Oliver Glasner is, to have turned him into that monster goal machine threat. Like he's done with so many players. That Ismail Sarr, I thought was going all the way to the top in his younger days. And he sort of fell off and he's come back. No, it's... I think he's definitely going to be of interest, especially if he carries on.
Leeds, though.
Yeah,
no chance of going to Leeds.
He's no way he's going to Leeds. Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the subscribe button, guys, we're trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. Loads of you watch the channel and tune in, and we thank you for that. But if you hit that subscribe button, it really helps us. Sorry to nag you, but it's only about 40% of you actually ever hit the subscribe button. So if you could hit that, that would be great. Really appreciate it. What else we got? Just Antony, Real Betis renegotiated the terms of Manchester United's sell-on clause for the Brazilian winger, who still, it's hard to believe, still only 25. So they will only have to pay 50% of any profit should they sell him. Previously, would have received 50. So they've negotiated a deal there. He's taken a wage cut. He's saying he could have gone to Bayern Munich. Do you believe that?
No.
Do you think he got scared off by being at Man United and the big club syndrome, and he's so appreciated at Real Betis with Bayern?
They rolled out the red carpet for him when he finally signed.
Yeah,
it's like he's the hero there. Why wouldn't you want to be there?
Correct. Yeah, correct. Sometimes
the money can't going to appreciate him like Betis do.
Correct. So, I mean, sometimes it's not always about the money. It's about finding a home. He's probably earned the money, hasn't he, really, with all the sign-ons and all the rest of it, to not be worrying about that. Have you got anything else there, Sean? Let's see if there's anything.
No, I think that's a good time to wrap it up, mate, really. I think there's everything else is just a little bit of just sort of speculation and noise. But, it's a good time to wrap it up, mate, and we can come back tomorrow. Oh,
So
you're around tomorrow? You're not flying
yeah,
tomorrow?
tomorrow night. Well,
Tomorrow
I'm going to do one tomorrow night. Ange Postecoglou or Ange Postecoglou. What's he going to do? Is he going to win a trophy in his first year? Is he going to have a terrible first year and win a trophy in his second year? He's already broken his rule and he's taken the entire Spurs backroom team with him that he had at Spurs, which he's never done before. So he's going to have continuity, unlike when he was at us in that second season where he'd never worked with any of them. Just go ahead, guys, and Scott Munn going as well.
Scott Munn going as well.
You're kidding.
What did Scott Munn even do, by the way?
Scott Munn, he's reforming the band. Is back. He's getting the band back together.
The band called Munn Too Clever, right?
Oh
Munn
my
Too Clever.
God! Who's he? I mean, who else is there left?
What did that guy do?
Do you reckon he'll take Johan Lang with him? That'd be good.
Maybe. It's going to be interesting to see who it is that shapes the director of football role going forward. Because if it's Vinay and Lang that are in charge of the football operation at Tottenham, I'm not excited. If it's Vinay and Paratici, I'm good. If it's Vinay and somebody else, like a Louis Campos, I'm over the moon. But we shall see. We'll talk about that when we get to it, guys. Massive thank you for everyone stopping by. Been really good numbers today, considering it's a Tuesday and it's the 9th of September at the end of International Week. Please do smash the like, smash the subscribe. And Johnny will be back tomorrow, so we'll sing a different background. We'll get Johnny back in the hot seat. And until then, we shall say thanks, everybody. Like, subscribe, and comment. Get over to OK Jersey for your shirts. Get onto the podcast platforms and smash a 5-star rating and a follow. Links in the description. And get over to Johnny on his socials there. Johnny, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.